spontaneous and chaotic. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. This video is just going to be a quick chit chat question and answer session. I asked a couple of you to ask me anything you'd like on Instagram, and I got so many questions, really good questions. And so I thought, let's sit, eat breakfast together, and I'll answer those questions so you can get to know a little bit more about me. So if you're interested, keep watching. Okay guys, so it is Thursday, November 4th. The months are going by so fast. Like the days, months, like what is time? I'm struggling with like remembering when things happened. Like I will legit think something happened last year and it happened 2 years ago, or last week, but it happened last month. Is anyone else having that like time issue right now? I know it's the pandemic, like I know it is, but it's still so weird to experience. So I asked you guys to ask me whatever it is that you like on my Instagram. I'll link my Instagram down below. And so many of you had awesome questions, and I just wanted to like film and like answer the questions right away, because I just love when it feels like we're actually like talking to each other. Anyone who messages me on Instagram, like I always make it a point to write back. Sometimes like the inbox is like insane, but like I get through it. Like sorry if it takes me a little bit sometimes, but I get through it because I just don't like feeling like I'm talking to myself, you know? So a lot of the time, like I am being vulnerable, I am being as transparent as possible, and I don't like, it always helps to know that someone's receiving the words that I'm saying. And it always is extra great when like I can tell people want to know more about me, and not just like I guess like the difficult time I'm trying to share with you guys, or the journey that I'm trying to share with you guys, but like more encompassing, like who is Stephanie, like what else, you know, what else am I made up of? So yeah, continue to ask me questions whenever, ask me whatever. If I can help, I will help. If I can't, I will certainly find the person to point you to. But I want to go over the questions that you guys sent me today. And I thought, like, it's kind of early, it's 10 a.m. And I am trying to really maintain like a good eating schedule. Not like a schedule, but making sure I actually eat. Sometimes I will, like, especially if I'm home for the day, I'll just snack like junk, or just eat one time, and like the first time will be at like 1 p.m. and that's just not good. And then I'm up super late eating. No thanks. So I made my breakfast. I just made some eggs. And then I warmed up a blueberry muffin and put some like vegan butter on it, and then have some strawberries and some avocado. Like I will put avocado on anything. It is a garnish for me. I love avocado. And the eggs are also vegan eggs. They're not real eggs. I am trying to switch over to, not vegan, but plant-based. I don't think I could do the whole vegan. I think that I'm also not putting my pressure on myself to do everything all at once. Like the first thing I did do for me and Cadence is get rid of dairy. I've known for a long time now, like we're not supposed to be having dairy, whatever, but I just feel like both of our skin has just been really like turning up on us lately. So she has eczema. It'll be like mainly patches, but sometimes she could have like an all over breakout. And for me, I have seborrheic dermatitis, which I've talked about before in video, in past videos, but it's like almost turning into like psoriasis a bit, especially when I get like really stressed out. So the dermatologist was immediately like, hey, let's try to cut out dairy. And I just like, I was on it, go, we could do that. So we switched to Oatly brand oat milk. And then I also bought like coconut-based yogurt. Like Siggy's is who I tried this morning. I opened it and tried it before I gave it to Cadence, and like, it is not your girl's favorite. I do not like it, but Cadence was into it. Like she actually kept, I don't know if she was faking a funk, but I don't know why she would fake it. I feel like toddlers would definitely tell you if they don't like something. But she kept drinking it, so good. The money won't go to waste, but I certainly am not for it. So, but I love yogurt. So if you know any not gross tasting plant-based yogurt, please leave it in the comments below, because sometimes it's really hard. I feel like this is what makes it hard to transition to certain things. Like I still have taste buds. Oh, these taste just like eggs. It's the, I think it's like in a yellow bottle, just eggs. Or it's not called just eggs, it's egg. It's a yellow bottle with a black top. If I find a picture, I'll put it right here. It tastes just like eggs. It's pretty good. You know what else I realized? I was listening to a podcast about inflation this morning, and yes, everything is going up. The price of everything is going up in a grocery store. But let's talk about it. Why are all the produce also going bad within 48 hours? I literally bought organic strawberries from Trader Joe's on Monday. It is Thursday, and the whole bottom of it is already like raw. Like they're gonna have to throw them out. Because the strawberries are like $6 and change. Is anyone else noticing that too? Bread, muffin, like whatever it is I'm buying, like it's just immediate. It's molding within days, and I really don't. It's not my house. I know it's not my house. So what is going on? We're on to you people. We're on to the government. And I need explanations. What's going on? Right? What's going on? If you're experiencing the same thing too, put it in the comments so we can let them know we see you. Okay, so let me get comfy. I am just like going through some of these. Again, I know I put some to the side. Like I got a good amount of questions here. And some of them are like just, I don't know, really good questions and require some thoughtful answers and some moments to think. So let's jump into them real quick. I'll start with just some like easier ones, a little, you know, not so like, let's just jump into the deep real quick. Here's one here. Did it take you a long time to become a YouTuber and get where you are now? So I actually started YouTube this year, March specifically, and I literally started overnight. But was planning for a little bit before that. I like abruptly left New York. I just knew that I did not want to be in New York anymore, for like mental reasons and also because of the pandemic. Like it was just too much for me handling Cadence at home while also teaching virtually. Like it was just far too much. And then also like the dynamic between her father and I was just getting a little bit too much for me. And then just New York being New York, I just had to go. So I actually moved back to my parents' house in Miami, Florida. And it was really there that I just started telling myself like, hey, like what happened to like the other parts of you? What happened to like the creativity that you used to like to get into, or you like to produce things, you'd like to, you know, learn new things? And I felt like all my time was being devoted to a job, like someone else's vision, someone else's plan for the day. And I just wanted to like shake that up a little bit. I wanted to like reconnect with myself with things that like I let die a long time ago. Like something else would always take place of a moment for me to see if I was still creative. And I do consider this creative because it takes a lot to like edit things. Like I just like people think it's kind of easy, and I never went into it thinking it would be easy to start a YouTube. I know like people pay for others to edit their stuff. So if you see that there's a market for that, it means that this is tedious work, right? So the planning I did, I just watched a lot of YouTube in order to become a YouTuber. So like Alexus, oh, I'm forgetting her name. I'll like put it down here. But Alexus, I watched her YouTube a couple of times here and there. Like she's just getting back into doing a lot more vlogging, but she had a lot of really great pointers on how to start. Oh man, I'm forgetting everyone's name. It's still so early, but the like what are their names? They started on Tumblr. I was familiar with them from Tumblr, but they're twins. They're identical twins who live in California. Oh my god, why I'm forgetting their name. I'll put them down there as well. They also have really great like YouTube pointers as well. Like if you're starting YouTube, this is the camera you should get. This is probably the you know, just whatever products and anything you should get. So I just kept watching those, making the decisions, what's best for me. And I just went for it. Like after I got enough information that I needed to, like I felt as comfortable as I could. And I should say like the best piece of advice that I did get, it was from one of Alexus's videos. She was saying like how pause on spending so much money at first. Wait until you see if this is something you actually like doing. And she's absolutely right, because the equipment to be like I don't know, when you get up into it a little bit more, when you invest a little bit more in YouTube because of the quality of things and like how, I don't know, however you want to like film your stuff, it gets expensive. Like the camera I'm filming on, it was like $800. And everything else, I do try to find something that's a little bit more like, let's relax. Like I'm not a millionaire or anything like that, and I obviously have like other mouths to feed, but the cameras are expensive, and some people have like 2 or 3 different cameras. Whoa. So I started off on my phone. I have the, what are we on, 13? So I have the 12 Max Pro, which just has like the 3 cameras, and it's a really great camera on its own. Sometimes people can't even tell I've switched between my phone and my camera to film for a YouTube. So my very first video, I'll link it up here, was a skincare, my morning skincare routine. I literally just made sure to wake up super early because my Haitian parents love to wake up and then make sure they make every noise possible in the kitchen. So I woke up super early. I know they would still be asleep, Cadence was still asleep, and I just filmed it. Like, and then I went back to YouTube, sat for like maybe 1 or 2 days, like learning how to use iMovie on my Mac. That was actually really fun for me. I love learning new skills. So got into that, learned how to do my editing, and I feel like each time I do editing, I learn new tricks. Like I learned something new. I moved on from using iMovie though. I use Final Cut Pro. It just lets you do a little bit more, like transition wise, font wise, like no, like it just lets you do more. It's much better. I think it's also worth the investment, but again, cost. Let me get some other questions. What are you working on these days? So I feel like I say this a lot, but I am really trying to monetize my Instagram. Some things have come my way, but it's just hard to navigate them when you're new. You're hearing a lot about like, this is what white creators are being paid, this is what white creators are being paid versus what they're trying to offer creators of color, especially Black women. The bar, you can't even see my hand, the bar is just lower. So I really am trying to navigate as best as possible to really like get what I'm worth, tell myself what I'm worth, and believe what I am worth, as well as just getting like the right things for me. So I want to, if I'm gonna be, in a partnership with a company, I want to really make sure that this is a product I love, a product I use, something that I actually see fit for my life and my daughter's life, and then just like what I'm about, right? So I am currently working on perfecting my pitch, and I am working on more of like my deck, like just really making sure it has all the information it needs to, because you have to update that a lot. So that's really my main focus right now. I'm setting a goal to have one partnership by December. So I'll come back. Hopefully we have a good update on that. One partnership by December. I think it's the first time I've actually said that. So this is now, it's out there. I've manifested it. It is between me and you. You guys have witnessed it. Here it is. I will have one partnership by December. How did you choose joy today? So I think I chose joy today by ignoring my daughter's tantrum and then actually having breakfast. I think those are 2 things that, could have easily derailed my day. Like when I have like, this is what we're doing in the morning, a little bit of routine, and you can have a routine all you want. Your kid dictates what's gonna happen that day or not, right? So she was having a tantrum every day. As soon as I say it's time to brush your teeth, she is not with it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's just like a random switch. All of a sudden she hates brushing her teeth. But I just kept like above the tantrum. I really just kept calm voice, and then she eventually was okay, and then we had a great ride to school and to drop off. And then again, being really intentional about actually having breakfast, it definitely brings me joy because one, I like when I keep my word to myself, and then I know I'm just gonna feel much better once I'm done eating. Like I've done a major thing for myself. Like I worry so much about her nutrition and her health, and I oftentimes just don't give myself that same type of attention. So when I do care for myself, it makes it happen. Okay, so next question. What made you choose North Carolina? And do you miss the East Coast? So a little bit about me and choices. I feel like for the past couple of, maybe the better of a year, my choices have been based in survival. So I don't have like a pretty answer as to why I landed in North Carolina, but it is the true answer. So like I said earlier in the video, in February, I gave myself a deadline to move out of New York by February. Like I just was over it. I was over my job. I was over my baby daddy. I was over New York, period. Before I had Cadence, I already started to feel like super anxious in New York. Like it wasn't as fun as like when I first got there. I was working at NYU at the time, so I was like in the city, shopping, have no one else to care about, zipping it and zooming it in the street. It was cool. But then like you get a little older, you change, you kind of change what it is that you want to do, or what you want to be interested in. I'm not really like I'm not an outside person all the time. I'm definitely an extrovert introvert. Like we can have fun inside. Like we can go outside for 5 minutes and then come back inside, right? I don't like to interact all the time. And I felt like New York demands that of you, and it also just, it takes forever to get to where you're going. Like I couldn't. Then I had a kid, and then New York is just not for mothers. It's not. It's getting in a car is the freaking worst. Having to go get like supplies that you need for your kid, the worst. It's just that, and the expense was out of control. And then having to do that mostly by myself, like it was just really, really wearing on me. So February, cut my lease, moved. I didn't take anything with me. Like I literally was like, no, all of this stays here, all memories, all whatever, like goodbye. I'm not taking any of that with me. Moved to Miami, was with my parents for a little bit. But when I got down there, it wasn't long after that I kind of remembered why I've been gone so long. I, graduated high school, and I'm gonna tell you how long ago, but a while ago, I graduated high school and I legitimately left the state like immediately. And I have not looked back since. I have never come back home. I've never really had a desire to come back home, and it's just because it's never really felt like I've never really felt belonging. It's deep and not that deep, but at the same time, I've always just raised myself. I've always just raised myself for whatever reason. So going back home, I quickly remembered like, oh, like I'm back home, but I'm not home. And I was in desperate search for a home, somewhere I can settle, somewhere I can call mine, somewhere I can raise my kid in less of a chaotic environment, or something that makes me feel chaotic. So I like packed up again, and I was looking to move to Atlanta. Okay, sorry, my camera battery died. That's another thing. Like, one thing about a battery, it's finna die in seconds. So you gotta buy like a whole bunch of them. Switched it out. Give me a second. Anyway, back to where we were. I was originally looking to move to Atlanta, but the real estate agent I was working with was kind of scaring me. Either prices at the time were just like this exact same as New York, so I'm like, what money am I actually saving? I'm paying New York rent or higher for Atlanta. No, thank you. But the real part that he just kept mentioning, every place that I was picking, or like areas that we were talking about, he was like, he just had something like negative to say about the area, and more specifically about safety. I don't know what's going on in Atlanta, but the girls they're running amok. He was literally like, do you have a car? It'll probably get broken into, so your insurance will be high. And I'm like, no ma'am. So I then was like, oh my God, I have to pivot. What to do? I don't feel like, I'm not moving to Atlanta. I'm not spending that much money. I'm not going to be like watching over my back. Like I'm not going to be watching over my shoulder. What am I going to do? And I had two friends rent to me and the realtor. It was the realtor first, was like, have you ever looked into, do you know anybody in North or South Carolina? And I was like, no. I think I've like Like I drove, so when I moved down to Miami, I drove with my brother from New York to Florida. So I drove past these two states, or through these two states. That was my first time being anywhere near them. No, I don't know anyone here, or I hadn't thought about it. Then two other unrelated friends were like, you know what also gives Atlanta feel, minus the crime? North Carolina. And I'm like, y'all are really bringing this up. It must be something about it. Like there must be something pulling you guys to talk to me about North Carolina. Something happened between my mother and I, and it was like way too much again, and it just like pushed me into making a decision, like a survival decision ASAP. So I think that happened like on a Sunday. Your girl was gone by Thursday. I live in North Carolina now. Honestly, I love it here. I love it. It is the right amount of like chill, but I can choose to step out if I want to. I'm like in a really great area. Cadence immediately was like in gymnastics. Now she's in ballet, she's in soccer. Like these are things I just could not really do in either New York or Miami, but especially New York. Do I miss the East Coast? That was the second part of the question. Not really. Am I not still on the East Coast? And this is not as Southern as you would think it is, by the way. I thought I was gonna be eating like cornbread, barbecue, just like, you know, whatever. I thought I was gonna be eating Southern every single day, but the food in North Carolina is really not that good to be. All right, so let's get into a little bit more deeper questions. Okay, here's one. How does it feel to be so vulnerable on such a public platform? It feels like it's something I have to do. And I just heard this yesterday. I was cleaning and I had Iyanla playing in the back, and she said, the pain of your truth needs a witness. I'm gonna give it a moment. Because a lot of the times people are going through like real abuse, a lot of different types of abuse, I should say. All abuse is real. And they just feel like, I'm gonna move on with my life and I'm just gonna keep quiet about this because I don't want this to be part of my story, or this is nobody else's business, or it's in the past, this happened and I'm moving on. But to me, do you know what I feel like that does? It lets the person who abused you off the hook. Like it lets the person who did something wrong to you off the hook. If you didn't want me to talk about what my experience was, you shouldn't have created that experience. If you didn't want me to, on a public platform, say the things you did to me, you shouldn't have done it. Because guess what? It is my story now. It's my story now. And so I get to tell my story. How it happened, how I'm experiencing it, and how I'm going through it. So I feel fine. I really do. I feel fine. Let's see. Where your baby daddy at? Child. What's your biggest fear as a mom? This actually is really easy for me to answer because I think about it all the time. My biggest fear as a mom is that, so I'm not delusional. It doesn't matter what options or opportunities and what I give to my daughter and what I do for my daughter. I know that she will one day grow up and tell me something that I did not do for her, or something that she feels that I did not do correctly or enough of. And my biggest fear is that she's going to say something that I said to my mom. Yes, will my daughter have some sort of criticism about my choices as a parent? Yes. And I'm ready. I like practice how I'm gonna answer her. I practice how I'm gonna listen. I practice the things that I did not get when I try to speak to my mom about what I didn't receive or my experience of her parenting. What I didn't get from her, there's no way I'm gonna do the same thing to my daughter. So I literally practice how I will receive the criticism often. But my biggest fear is that she is going to criticize something that I criticized my mom about. And I don't know if that's unfair pressure on myself or what, but I just try to make, I'm trying so hard every single day to make decisions that are far away from the decisions that cause certain parenting for me. I want her to criticize something new. I go hard to make sure that I'm not repeating a certain pattern. And if I do recognize it, I try my hardest to like get it together ASAP. So that way, no, that's like a real fear for me, that my kid is experiencing anything that I experienced growing up. What is yummy in my life right now? So I think this person is like asking me like, what's the happy in my life right now? Like what's making me happy? I think it's friendships, but like two specific friendships. I have one friendship, I still have a friend that lives in New York, and I think that the way we met, like we constantly talk about it, how it was a legitimately, like there's no way we weren't like being invisibly pulled. Like the day we met, the time we met, the moment we met, and then just to where we've progressed and what we've learned about each other and what we've literally pulled each other out of and pulled each other through. Like I literally haven't seen her since May. And that was only for like 30 minutes. And before that, we barely saw each other face to face, and we lived like around the corner from each other in New York. And we were both parents, so we get it. And, but like the friendship she provides me is like no other friendship that I've ever like experienced. So, it's just been good for my soul. And the other friendship that I'm talking about is actually my own friendship to myself. I find that like I'm really excited about when I like recognize the ways that I've been showing up for myself, in like the promises I've been keeping to myself and the moves I'm making for myself. Like I'm like, hey girl, like I'm proud of myself. Like I really am. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the things that I'm doing. I'm proud of the things that I'm not doing. I'm proud of the way that I'm not judging myself as harshly for certain things. I'm proud of the way that I'm standing up for myself in many different like situations, and I'm proud of myself for going for it. I'm proud of myself for making yet another YouTube video. I'm proud of myself for every freaking post that I've done this month. You know, like I'm proud of the recognition that I'm getting for the work that I've put in. I'm proud of what the universe is bringing back to me for doing my part. Yeah, I'm proud of me. I'm my yummy. Let's do, should we do two more or one more? Okay, we're gonna do two more. Okay. Okay, I found it too. What's your biggest accomplishment? What's your biggest accomplishment that nobody can see? This is a good one. The way I have saved myself and continue to save myself since the beginning of this year. I think that I spent a really long time so destabilized, like my nervous system just so out of whack that it felt like if someone doesn't come pick me up off this floor, I'm not gonna get up. And when I snapped into nobody's coming, get up, it's just been like step after step. Like I can't even rest if I wanted to, or not rest, I can't even stop if I wanted to. I've just been going and solving and showing up and showing up and showing up again for myself in a way that it's now become a habit. No one can see how when something happens to me, I don't react right away. Because I've been showing up for myself so much, I've now learned how to immediately show up for myself when someone offends me, when someone does or says something that I'm not really sure about, when I'm uncomfortable in a situation. I don't feel the need to react out of survival anymore. I can take a beat. I can assess what's going on. I can ask someone can you repeat that? Or can you tell me what you meant by that? Instead of giving you Candace. I don't know if you guys watch Real Housewives of Potomac, but I feel like I relate to, or not relate, she needs her ass beat. But I definitely I think I can see why she reacts the way she does. But I am that person sometimes. Like, I can have a really sharp tongue. Like, we could go. Like, I give what I get. But I could also see where that was coming from. And I just, yeah, like, my biggest accomplishment is like showing up for myself these days. Over and over and over again. And it's not tiring for me. Was tiring was waiting for somebody else to come help me, do it for me. And do I feel like that sometimes still? Yes, I definitely feel like I'm tired of taking care of myself. But I think that's different than being tired in the way that I was, which was the unhealthy way. Like, I can't do anything for myself, especially internal work for myself. And yes, I can. And I've been doing it. And I'm so addicted to doing it now that I don't stop doing it. And it's been great. It's a great accomplishment to save yourself. I got this tattoo before I was even, it's like the moment I was like, stand up and you could do it. I got this tattoo right here. I don't know if you can see. Let me come up here. It says, save yourself, but it's facing me because I'm talking to me. So yeah. All right, and so the last question I'm gonna do is, how are you doing truly? I am okay. Today, I am okay. In this moment, right now, I feel good. And that's the truth of it, right? I think how I feel truly, how am I doing truly, changes moment to moment. But we need to get this together, guys. I'm included. Happiness does not mean you need to feel joy all the time, right? A happy life doesn't mean you need to be laughing all the time. I have a happy life because I have what I need. I have a happy life because here and there I can get what I want. I can indulge a little bit in the wants. And I have a happy life because every single day I wake up. I have a happy life because I have my daughter. I have a happy life because I'm not where I was last year. And does that mean that I haven't been crying? Y'all, I was crying last week on camera, right? Like, it doesn't mean that I'm laughing every single day. It doesn't mean that when I shut off this video that I'm not gonna have like some sort of flashback or something's not gonna happen and it won't make me sad. But I have a happy life and I know that. And right now, truly, I feel good. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking, because you made me check in with myself with that. Okay, so that was it for the questions. I really love the questions that we went over, and there was so many more I didn't get to, but I might save them and I'll either answer you on Instagram or maybe we'll do another chit chat. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.